Hey guys, welcome to this video. Um, I literally just had the idea to make it, actually under just half an hour ago. So this is pretty spontaneous. This is just straight up, kind of raw and honest. And yeah, let's see how it goes. The title is probably a bit long, might cut it down, but this is basically how I messed it up with my crush and maybe what you can do to avoid it. A little bit of backstory about myself, I guess. My name is Alessio, and this kind of happened when I was 18, and I'm 19 now. And yeah, kind of just a crossover period between 18 and 19. And the current circumstances is, we're in quarantine, in lockdown, which kind of does feature into the story a little bit. So yeah, got a little bit unlucky with that. But basically, I just feel like I have to vent, just fucking say it. And here we go. So, never had the greatest of luck with the ladies. So, probably, probably kind of obvious from this video. Not exactly the best. Clearly, otherwise, why the fuck would I need to make this fucking video, right? I've had crushes on girls in the past. Three in particular stand out to me. I mean, the third one is the one I'm going to be talking about in this video. The first one was a girl in primary school, and I kind of liked her throughout, and she was pretty hot. 11-year-old me would agree. And, well, I didn't fucking do anything, of course. She did say, may I add, she did say I was cute one time. And I replied with probably the most cringiest fucking thing you could do. I basically said, "Oh, you're making me blush." At which point, she turned away, laughing to her friend, and ignored me for ever, basically. Sick. Great. The second girl was in sixth form. Her name was Philippa, and it does. I mean, I can say her name because there's millions of Philippas. Whatever. No one here knows who I am, so it's calm. Yeah, I had a fucking crush on her, basically, and it's kind of funny because so did my friend. So we both secretly, although his wasn't much of a secret, because he actually did kind of make a move, an embarrassing one. He sent her a text message saying we should talk more, and it was unreplied to. It was left unreplied, and just was a bit awkward. But at least he tried. I sat next to her in ancient history, guys. So that was. I didn't just stare at her from across the room. I fucking talked to her. But every time I did, I started shitting myself because I was so nervous. Because I literally shit myself when I have a crush. And she liked football, and she was a little bit sassy too. So she was kind of my kind of girl. Little story about that. Embarrassing thing happened there too. There was this girl in the park who I didn't like, but I got with her, or at least it was very drunken get with. I didn't really have a say. It was a bit out of the blue. And there was just a rumours going around, and it got back to her that I had sucked on her tits in the middle of like the street, which that part wasn't true. I did, feel around a little bit. But okay, hearing that come out of her mouth when she was next to me was pretty fucking crazy. But blue kind of fucking exploded my mind because the girl I liked was there saying these things that I did, and I was like, holy shit, this is embarrassing. Obviously, I took full opportunity of the situation, and I just agreed. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. But that didn't stop me from looking like a complete arsehole, a complete idiot by stuttering and stammering away, and basically just, yeah, not great. Yeah, this last girl was the most recent one, and this time I decided to do something about it, guys. I did something about it. I asked her out. Now, this all kind of began at the beginning of, well, not the beginning, but during my art college foundation year. And basically, she was just very pretty. She was really hot in my eyes. She was so beautiful. And out of nowhere, one time she just started talking to me. And that first conversation was pretty bad on my part. I completely effed it up because I can't even remember what I was saying, what I did. But I know for a fact it was only because she came up to me. She said, I'm Italian, guys. She said, are you Italian? Italians are really cute or something. And I was like, fucking hell. As soon as she said that, I basically lost my shit inside. I went red. From then on, it was all a blur. Because, yeah, I'm easy to fucking fuck with. Anyways, some time goes on, and boom, guess what? She sits next to me again. And, look, I know, she sat next to me, but look, guys, I'm sitting on a table. I was sitting on a table with, quite frankly, a bunch of nerds, little boys. Why the fuck would she want to sit on this table with us? She sat next to me, and I was pretty gassed. And we started talking about star signs and that. Like, we went on a star sign website and looked at about the romance parts, like your love life and all that shit. I'm an Aquarius, by the way. And it felt dope because it felt like we had a good time looking at that and conversating about it. And I was pretty gassed because later on that day we went to an art museum, Tate Britain, and there's a bunch of fun there too. I mean, on the way there, she kind of walked to us and hung out a bit, and then when we were inside, kind of just went our own ways to do whatever until we went to this little dark, pitch black room which had nothing in it. There was no art, and she just was in there, and I was in there, and she fell asleep. The whole thing, I don't know, it was really sweet and cool, and yeah. Anyways, the new year happens, half holidays, whatever, and we're back. And now we're talking more regularly. We're sitting next to each other pretty much every day we're there. Every day we have college, we're next to each other talking, chilling, and it's going well because I'm just still confused why this girl wants to sit next to me or why she wants to talk to me. And fuck, I was trying so hard to, in my head, keep it as, just tell myself it's just friends. But I liked her. Like, thought she was good looking before she came up and talked to me. And now that she was paying attention to me or whatever, I guess I was pretty gassed about that. And then one time she showed me, told me about a date she was going on with somebody, which obviously made me a little bit upset. But my first reaction was actually just happiness. I was just happy because that meant that I didn't have to care anymore. I didn't have to think about it. So it was more a feeling of relief rather than sadness, because it was, my feelings were at the time were, okay, good, we just be friends. I don't have to care. Because at the time I didn't have this massive crush on her. I just liked her. You know? I wasn't too bothered. And we got along well, so I was more than happy to be friends. And it's just so hard to replay all these events and by talking about it, because it's like so much is just feelings in your head and just imagination, and sometimes it's not the real person that you'll fall in love with, it's an idea about them or some fantasy where you change what really happened to fit your own narrative and make it seem better. But with her, I feel like for once I got to know her for the first time. I got to know properly someone who I liked, and so it wasn't all bullshit. Yeah, I don't really know where to go with this, but all in all, I suppose this is a little bit on advice too. Okay, just be yourself. I had ways things I wanted to do to make her, to kind of impress her, make myself seem cooler than I was. I don't know. I was just always worried about coming across as cool and fucking alpha or whatever. Maybe I should have just been more me. I mean, okay, here's an example where it kind of flopped. I tried to be funny. I thought this story would go down well. She has sickle. She doesn't have sickle cell. She has just anemia, which is just where she's tired or whatever. And basically, in secondary school, I had this fight with someone who had sickle cell anemia. And it sounds bad, but we were actually quite good friends. Me and this guy, we were always pretty mutually good friends. Anyway, we went to a little bit of a scrap, and quite frankly, it was a pretty even fight because I still am skinny myself, and he was taller than me anyway. But either way, we had a little bit of a scrap, and it was the biggest nerd fight ever. And he clawed my neck, whatever. I got a scratch, and nothing ever happened with it. We became probably better friends after that. But I tried to tell her a story on the table, and it kind of bombed because it was really what I was doing was I was just trying to come across as cool because I had a fight. But I wanted to tie it up in a nice bow and be like, yeah, I was just a bunch of nerds, but it flopped. And maybe I didn't act when I should have. Maybe I should have just gone out to lunch with her. I don't know, it's just hard to get out words sometimes. But either way, I was worried about quarantine happening because then I won't ever see her again, maybe. So I was thinking about just asking her out before then. I didn't. But that's when And by now, she'd asked for my Instagram. She followed me on Instagram, whatever. It's just normal. And then she posted something on her story, and I looked at it. And then she messaged me, said, "Hey, how are you?" 3 exclamation marks. And immediately I was gassed. I fucking freaked out. I threw my phone across the room because I didn't even want to touch it because I was so scared. And I was no idea what to do. Mine was buzzing, and I replied immediately. I didn't even answer her question. She asked how was I. I said, "Yeah, nothing much. Bit bored." I was saying she didn't ask me what I was doing. She asked me how I was. I don't know. And I just went back. You. Probably looking into it too much. But anyway, so followed a bunch of messaging back and forth via Instagram. And look, I don't really know how fucking DMing works. I had to ask my friends advice on what to do. I fucked up a few times. I tried to make a little joke about how she was eating all the snacks at her place, and I think it went well. Which my friends subsequently told me that girls apparently hate those kind of jokes about they're just conscious of their weight. I don't know. She's, great. Doesn't, but yeah, maybe I was wrong there. And, it was quite interspersed messaging, like 1 or 2 messages a day, or like once a day. And then it became, in the conversation, I was worried because the conversation was kind of drying up, and it was kind of my fault because I have bad Insta chat, Chat is bad. I'd rather have done it in person, rather have asked in person. And, like I was asking advice from my friends on what I should do, what I should say. And, the best advice they probably told me, which calmed me down a lot, was just be yourself, because if she doesn't like you for who you are, then maybe she's not worth it anyway. So just write what you would say. And I was mainly worried about coming across as too much of a friend, because I didn't want to just be friends. I wanted it to go there, but I didn't know how to get it there. To the point where, she liked me, because I didn't know her intentions, but at this point I was assuming maybe she liked me too. And I was worried about the conversation drying up, and so during quarantine I asked her if she wanted to go out on a date. And maybe I'll show the DMs on here, because they're fucking terrible. It was just a bunch of awkward messaging back and forth. No, like chemistry or whatever over text, but I'm bad at that. And she said that she's talking to someone else, and that I thought we were just good friends. Okay. So that's the end of that. We talked a little bit afterwards, just messaging about the remainder of the artwork, etc. And now we're not talking anymore. And I don't know. Maybe it's just really stupid, and maybe it's lacking a lot of detail. If it is, it's for a reason. It's because I can't share everything, and because so much of it is so mental, like it's just in your like mind, all those things that go on, and there are other things that happen, of course, but I can't remember them now. This is off the cuff. This is just me going on. But at the end of the day, if there's any advice I could give, despite me hardly being qualified to give anybody some, is that just fucking treat them normally, like they're a normal sounds so stupid, but just treat them normally, like they're your friend. They're a boy, even. Just be like, just don't act like a weirdo or over the top, but also kind of embrace that side of yourself, right? Embrace the like awkward, weird side, because that's you and that's your personality. And if they don't like that, or like appreciate that, or they feel like you should be more smooth and fucking sexy or like intimidating or whatever, because that's what you think that girls like. Maybe that's not true. Maybe they just liked you for you. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not to get the girl. And when it comes to Instagram DMing, um, I looked up a lot. I seeked out a lot of advice. I read up on many websites on what to do. Um, I was asking my friends. They were telling me what to say. They were telling me what to do sometimes. And fucking the best thing you can do. And I was trying so hard to be funny. I would be doing the most dumbest shit jokes. But I suppose that's me, right? That's my personality, and maybe for that reason is why it didn't work out. Because really, just go with your gut. I suppose sometimes it's best, and you have to be interested in her. You have to want to know what she's up to, but also give a bit of yourself out there too, but not too much. And don't ask her out at an inconvenient time or unnaturally. Just let it get to that point and make it as natural as possible. And my recommendations, I wouldn't do fucking Instagram. I wouldn't chat over DMs at all. I would just do it up front and say it to them. Say it to their face. But obviously quarantine kind of cock-blocked me. So, yeah, that ain't happening. Also, at times I was perhaps a bit short and rude over the messaging because I was afraid of. In truth, I was afraid of this whole thing. I was afraid of the possibility of a girlfriend. I was afraid of the possibility she liked me. I was afraid of the fact that I liked her. And I was too scared to say anything before or like make any groundwork in that area beforehand. And you kind of have to make steps before. You can't just go 0 to 100. Yeah. But ultimately, if you get along with her and it's going great, then just ask her out then and don't leave it too long. Either way, it's been probably like a month or so since I last sent her a message. I asked her out on April 13th or 14th, something like that. And so this was just pretty fresh in my mind. I feel like I had to say it because it's been kind of weighing down on me. It's all just learning curve. Remember, if it goes wrong, it's just all about learning, all about experience. You need to go through these things. Then maybe when it finally does go well, it's because you've experienced all the times it didn't go well. Anyways, this was a really weird and random video. It was kind of just spontaneous. Literally not even lying when I said I was literally sitting in the park like half an hour ago. I thought I have to fucking say this shit online on the internet because I need to just say it and get it out. This might go to no one, but I suppose this is just a little bit my little story about me and girls. At least girls I've liked. Yeah, it's very really shitty told because in my mind it's all there, but for you, it's not. But I mean, I don't know if you want to see the Instagram DMs, and maybe you guys give me advice instead. The other way around, then sure I'll do that. I'll show the DMs, but I'll just blur out faces, etc. But anyways, thanks for listening. Hopefully you took something away from this, and goodbye.